It's Gypsy Man. Got something a little bit different today. We got some revolvers. We got some an antique, not even an antique, but I would say a retro and a modern day uh, revolver. Different materials, different mechanisms, same concept. Surprisingly different trigger feels and finishes. But first, we're going to start with my this was my father-in-law's that I happened to be the custodian of. Smith& Wesson 15-3. This is from the 1970s. I don't know exactly what year he bought it in, but I know that he has never fired it. I have never fired it, and he's passed now. But this thing is brand new, basically. Brand new. It's blued. Feels pretty good. Has a very comfortable, wide trigger shoe on it. You know, just metal. Nothing special about it, but it's very wide, very comfortable to pull the trigger, especially in double action, where it is a very heavy trigger. It won't even measure on the little gauge here, but it definitely has one advantage compared to a modern day pistol, and we'll get into that after I talk about this one a little bit. It has adjustable rear sights. That's about it. Fixed front sights. You have to push forward to release the cylinder, and it has the extractor, of course, double action, and a very small handle. So I wouldn't shoot this anyway because I don't like shooting guns with small handles because of my large hands. And then we have the modern day. We have the modern day Colt Python, and this thing is heavy. Like compared to picking this up, which has some weight to it, this thing is definitely beefier. It has a nicer, beefier, very nice wood grip on it, and it's very wide. It feels way better in my hands being larger. It has a very nice nickel finish. Very nice. It's pretty. Has a thinner trigger shoe. A thinner trigger shoe feels, okay for me. I like wide trigger shoes, but it feels okay in double action. It has a reverse pull on the cylinder release. Very smooth. You can see how the cylinder just smooths and is silky and is quiet. This one will not. This one's, being in a new condition and was maintained very well. It spins, but it doesn't spin as freely. It doesn't spin freely like the Python. This thing is butter. And you can feel the finish and the modern feel on this. This gun is butter, period. It feels very nice. It feels like it costs some money, right? And you're going to pay money for it, but it feels like it. The finish is beautiful. The way it feels is smooth. It's quiet. Double action, of course. And it's just a nice piece. It's a nice piece to have. I don't shoot revolvers. I don't like shooting revolvers. But I have shot revolvers. And I've shot this model. And I've shot this. But not this exact gun. But smooth. It's butter. Very smooth. Now comparing it to trigger pulls. Let's do that. So we're going to put it in single where both of these pistols are empty. And we're going to put this one in single. Let's start with the Python, which will probably be a surprise to a few that don't already know. Let's pull the trigger back. So we're at just under 6.5 pounds. Now let's do the same with the Smith & Wesson, old school. Let's take it back to Colombo. Let's take it back to Cerico, and let's pull this one back. And back then, and this is a law enforcement edition, and this one is under 3.5 pounds. So they weren't worried about poundage back then in single action. So if they put their finger on that trigger, this thing is going to go off, and it feels very light. Just under 3.5, just under 6.5 pound trigger pull in single action. Double action is not going to register with that pull gauge. If you just place your finger on this, it really feels like it's lighter than 3.5 pounds. And I'm going to say, I don't know why the pull gauge is saying it's 3.5 pounds, because this definitely feels like 1.5, 1 pound triggers that I felt on the modern day 2011s today. Like, this thing will probably be more accurate than this one because of that light trigger pull. And if you feel this one in single action, this one definitely feels heavier. For sure, it does not feel like it's 6.5 pounds, but it says on the gauge that it is, but it doesn't feel like it in single action. But I'm sure that it is very accurate, especially with the follow-up shots with this gun, because this thing is heavy. If I compare the two, and you can look at how much more beefier this one is compared to this one, and they both will shoot the 357 and the 38, but this one's just a hunk of metal. I like it though. I like heavy guns. If I were to shoot either one of these guns, it's going to be this gun. I'm going to shoot this one. Now, if I'm shooting bullseye, I would have to suck it up and shoot with this one, only because it has a lighter trigger. It might give me more accuracy, but if I had to follow up shots with a revolver, I would like to have the Python. Not only because of how beefy it is, but how much wider the grip is. I mean, this one feels like one of those old school cap guns for some of us Gen Xers that remember those and love those. That's how small this grip is on here. But it is a very nice wooden grip. And this is in pristine condition. You know, there's absolutely not one scar on this 15.3. And it will stay like that, because I always just have it in a safe away from the elements. But just wanted to make a quick video on the Pythons, because you probably won't see these anymore, the Pythons and the revolver, and you won't see these no more on my channel because I don't shoot them. But I do appreciate the craftsmanship. I do appreciate the mechanics and the idea that somebody back so many years ago thought of a way to throw some hot stones at people through something mechanical. That still is something that intrigues me. You know, just looking back and looking at the history and studying. But it's amazing to me. But this thing, when I pick it up again, this thing is butter. Like, seriously, when compared to picking this one up, and this one's smooth too, but you can hear the clanky. This one, you know, it sounds smooth, and it feels exactly how it sounds. But just a quick review on the Python and a quick review on the old school 1970s Smith & Wesson 15.3. Stays in the safe. I'm always going to have this, the custodian of this. And I'm going to give this back to its owner, and I appreciate him even giving me the opportunity to even look and play with this gun a little bit as we get to know it a lot better. It's just too bad I don't like shooting revolvers. But I'm sure I'm going to get an opportunity to shoot this and get right back on my 2011. All right, Gypsy Man, I'm out.